you guys, it's Britt. Today I wanted to talk for a few minutes about unschooling and also a new family vlog channel that I'm going to be discussing, and unschooling ties into it. So if you're interested, please keep watching. All right, you guys, so the new family that I'm going to be doing another video on is called Norp and South. I actually received an email from one of you guys, and I love when this happens because it really puts other things on my radar. You guys know I don't follow family vloggers, and anytime you guys want me to look into something, I'm more than happy to do so. And so I received the email and I went to their channel, and I recognized very quickly that unschooling is something that this family does. They do have a video talking about their journey, but I figured that that would be a little bit biased if I automatically reacted to that one, because I don't know a lot about unschooling. So I want to read about it. I want to kind of collect your all's opinions about how this fits into homeschooling, how it fits into online content creators utilizing it as a path to keep their kids at home so that they can be part of content and they can travel and they can just, not have to go to school basically. If any of you guys have unschooled your kids, or maybe you were unschooled yourself, I know that this is a little bit of a newer concept, but if you were unschooled, please tell me your experience down below. I'm going to read a little bit about it, give you guys kind of my thoughts on this, and then the video on Norp and South will be coming in the next few days. So it says, what is unschooling? Unschooling is a style of home education that allows the student's interests and curiosities to drive the path of learning. Rather than using a defined curriculum, unschoolers trust children to gain knowledge organically. Contrary to how it sounds, unschoolers are homeschoolers who are focused more on the experimental process of learning and becoming educated than with doing school. The focus of unschooling is on the choices made by the individual child, dictated by interest, learning style, and personality type. So I find this really interesting. While I really like the idea of being able to tailor a curriculum to what a child has interest in, I also feel like there are certain things that are taught in school, certain subjects that will apply to any profession that the child, wants to pursue once they're out of school. Whether they go to college or whether they go right into the workforce. You guys know I went right into the workforce, and even though I hated math and science, those were my weak, you're the weakest link. I was terrible with math and science. But if I was going to be really honest with myself, I did realize that some of the things that I had learned in math, I was utilizing at my job, whether it was basic math or division. Now, I do think this has also changed a lot because we all have calculators on our phones. It's much different than it was years ago when I graduated. So I also realized that technology has given everyone access to how to do a math problem or how to figure out a fraction just by pushing a couple of buttons. So I understand that. I still feel like one of the biggest things that I see with homeschooling is that it's utilized as kind of a shortcut. It's a way for parents to keep their kids at home so that they can vlog and be part of social media and continue their online growth. And it's not so much done because the parent wants to homeschool their child. Their child is part of the family business, and the family business is usually a YouTube channel or TikTok, Instagram, maybe a little bit of everything. So they need the kids there during the day so that when they're vlogging, the kids are around. They can have a little segment on or a little video for TikTok during the day. These families have become businesses, and in order to have a digital footprint and have people recognize you, your followers are going to expect to see all the people that work at your business when you're uploading content to whatever your preferred platform is. So I'm all for homeschooling if the parent can actually feel like they can fill those shoes and do it the right way. The problem that I've had all along is just don't say that you're going to homeschool your kids so that they're home during the day and you don't have to worry about taking them to school and dropping them off. You're just kind of taking control and utilizing homeschool as a shortcut to have your child in the home all day, because your family and their presence online is your moneymaker and your kids are part of that. It goes on to say, John Holt, one of the leaders of the unschooling philosophy, said, "Birds fly, fish swim, man thinks and learns. Therefore, we do not need to motivate children into learning by wheel dealing, bribing, or bullying. We do not need to keep picking away at their minds to make sure they are learning. What we need to do, and all we need to do, is bring as much of the world as we can into the school and classroom. In our case, into their lives. Give children as much help and guidance as they ask for. Listen respectfully, and when they feel like talking, listen respectfully when they feel like talking, and then get out of the way. We can trust them to do the rest." Unschooling is different from deschooling, which refers to the period of time when a student and family adjust after leaving a traditional school setting. Instead, it involves nurturing a child's natural curiosity without placing artificial time constraints on them, such as the introduction of certain subjects at certain ages, or without structuring their day the same way as a classroom setting might. One of the biggest things that I've always kind of thought of with homeschooling is, and I mentioned this in my Farrah Abraham video, I'll link that down below if you guys missed it, it's all about the setting. It's about the setting and the person doing the lessons. So if you're expecting a child to learn closed off in their bedroom, sitting in their bed, or, you know, even if they have a desk in their room, that can still be, because I think back to, you know, my childhood. That's really the only thing that I can directly compare, because it was my childhood. When I think of that, I always had a workspace outside of my bedroom, even though I spent time in my room once in a while. If I was working on homework or working on a project, I had that separation of, okay, my bedroom is where I hang out and play and watch movies or, you know, whatever. But if I'm doing an assignment or homework or anything like that, I had space in our lower level where, you know, it was a big table and I had art supplies and stuff like that. So I think that's really important. But the other side of that is the teacher. I'm sure it's far from simple to have your kids, and let's talk about multiple children too. If you're doing this for multiple kids, kind of like Norp and South is doing, they have 9 kids in total. So if you think of more than one child doing the unschooling route, you might have one child who's really interested in history, one might be, you know, really into art, the other one might be really into science. In order to keep all of those curriculums running smoothly and making sure that each child is learning at a pace that's good for them and actually, you know, absorbing what they're given, that's a lot for the parent to keep up with. And by all means, you know, if the parent can do it, the parent can do it. But I don't know, for me, even though school was not a cakewalk for me, I also learned to appreciate that time out of my house and the time in my house, because it gave me a schedule. It gave me separation of school, where I was expected to get work done, and home, where I could do my little bit of homework and then I could play and relax and, you know, do whatever else I was up to. So I think the change of scenery is really important. I also know that the social skills is a big concern that a lot of people bring up when it comes to these YouTube kids being homeschooled. If they're sitting at home with parents all day, even if they have a sibling or a couple of siblings, are they getting out to see other kids their age? Are they socializing with other kids? Do they have that time outside of the home to see new environments and talk to other kids their age. So based on what I've gathered is that homeschooling, you have more of a curriculum, but unschooling, you allow the child to build their own curriculum in a lot of ways, because you're not telling them, okay, today we're doing history, weather, and science. If you're unschooling and your child has really focused on history, then they might want to watch some YouTube videos about historical events. They might do a project or color or something, and it has something to do with history. It's giving much more control to the child. And don't get me wrong, I know that a lot of kids are very smart, but I do worry about kids making those kinds of decisions for themselves and actually making sure that they're on track for where they should be. And so I think it's really interesting. As an adult looking back, if I was given the option to unschool, I would have probably at least wanted to try it, because it is pretty cool to be able to stay at home. But I also wonder a lot how that would have affected my growth and my way of absorbing information. I don't know. I'm really in the middle with this. How do you guys feel about this? And how do you feel about it specifically with vloggers who use it as a means to keep their kids at home? I'm kind of like all on board. If it works for this family, it works for this family. But if you're doing it strictly so your kids can participate in this family vlogger machine, that's where that's where my hesitation comes in, I guess is the best way for me to describe it. So I really want to know what you guys think. I will have a video on this family coming in the next few days. If there's a specific video of theirs that you want me to react to, please email it to me, send me a link on Instagram, and we'll see what they're all about. So either way, for now, if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.